So the Rose coach in Unrivaled finally decided to play Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull actually saw the floor. And what happened when Lexi Hull played more than 4 minutes? Oh, the Rose win, first of all. They win.
You've played just 8 minutes in 2 games. Your team is winless, stuck at 0-2. From the sidelines, you watch as Angel Reese dominates the ball, forcing her way to double-doubles, but it's not leading to victories. Then, out of nowhere, your moment comes. You step onto the court and absolutely crush it with a game-changing 19-point performance. You take over, leading your team to their first win of the season.
And Lexi Hull goes 8 for 11 from the field and has 19 points, 3 assists, and 3 boards. 19, 3, and 3. She was the top scorer.
Resilience, strategy, and the sweet taste of vindication. Lexi Hull proved what happens when you prioritize true talent over empty stat padding. Her breakout moment could be the spark the Rose Basketball Club desperately needed. What exactly did Hull do to put Angel Reese in her place? Let's dive in.
Hull's really stepping up because she barely played those first 2 games. And I do think with her barely playing those first 2 games, I don't think she did anything wrong. I even said at the time where I'm it's literally just the style of play their coach is trying to play that didn't suit Lexi Hull.
Lexi Hull wasn't always the hero of the Rose Basketball Club. In the first 2 games, she was nearly invisible, just 8 minutes on the court. Meanwhile, the team was racking up losses, starting the season with 0 wins and 2 crushing defeats. Frustrating. Absolutely, but that didn't stop her.
Imagine going from Christy Sides coaching, where she doesn't really want to play you, and no matter what you do on the court, it doesn't matter because your coach doesn't want to play you, and then eventually your coach figures it out and starts you and plays you 30 minutes a game and your team gets better.
Here's the thing, Lexi Hull isn't some rookie trying to find her groove. She's a proven 3-point specialist with lockdown defensive skills. In the previous WNBA season, her 3-point shooting percentage ranked among the league's best. So why was she stuck on the bench? And how did she turn frustration into one of the most impressive performances of the season?
Field hardly played. And it was all within the flow of whatever offense you run in Unrivals. And also, she's obviously a really freaking good defender.
Why was a player of Lexi Hull's caliber practically glued to the bench? Something wasn't adding up, and fans were starting to notice. They scratched their heads, questioning why her defensive prowess wasn't being utilized, especially when the team was clearly desperate for a spark. While Hull sat out, her teammates struggled to find their rhythm. Sure, multiple players were hitting double digits, but the wins weren't coming. The offense looked clunky, and the defense had more holes than Swiss cheese.
As we've seen from Alyssa Thomas, the points that are the point guards that are doing really well, or the point forward type things that are doing well in this, aren't really pick and roll players. It's the ones that are sharing the rock and hitting cutters, hitting 3-point players. It's not about the pick and roll. It's not as important in 3-on-3, especially when you can push the floor and you can run. And athleticism is the.
Even with limited playing time, Hull was making waves. Fans and commentators couldn't ignore her impact. In the few minutes she was on the court, her lockdown defense turned heads. Blink and you'd miss her highlight reel plays. The frustration was growing. Teammates grumbled. Fans tweeted their discontent, and everyone agreed. Hull deserved more time on the floor. Through it all, Hull remained the ultimate professional, a team player waiting for her moment.
I think Lexi Hull is going to have she's going to have a solid Unrivaled, and thankfully, she's stepping up, and I didn't think she did anything wrong in her first 2 games when she was on the floor. The coach just didn't fit her. She didn't fit the coach's system. Thankfully, the Rose switched it up a bit. They won.
Then they won. How did Lexi Hull go from bench warmer to game changer overnight? That's the million-dollar question. Did the coach finally see the light? Was it a shift in strategy? Or did Hull strike a deal with the basketball gods? We'll break it down soon, but first, why was she benched in the first place? Intro 8. Turns out, Hull might have been the Rose Basketball Club's secret weapon all along. Here's why her game is tailor-made for the 3-on-3 format in Unrivaled. 3-on-3 basketball is a whole different beast compared to traditional 5-on-5. With fewer players on the court, there's more space, a faster pace, and constant action. Every player needs to be a two-way threat. This isn't just about adapting. It's about thriving, and Hull's skill set fits perfectly into this format.
She's back to mid-season form. She really is. She's absolutely delivering on that double-double. That's right. Points, rebounds, and of course, losses. Just in the same way that the Chicago Sky melted last year when her double-double streak started, she cost her team a game.
She's not just a sharpshooter, she's the sharpshooter. In 3-on-3, that's like bringing a flamethrower to a water balloon fight. The extra space on the court allows players like Hull to punish defenses with her three-point shooting and her ability to cut to the basket. But Hull isn't just an offensive weapon. In this format, where defense is magnified, her lockdown ability shines. One-on-one matchups can decide games, and Hull's defense turns her into a nightmare for opposing players. She's not just a player, she's a secret weapon.
People are saying, oh, she should have never went to Unrivaled. I still think, look, she's getting paid, 100-something K? At least. Could be paid up to $250,000. She's everywhere. It's going to help her out. She drew the short straw with her team. The way the coach wants them to play is just not the way Lexi Hull is good at.
Here's the kicker. This isn't Hull's first rodeo with 3-on-3 basketball. She's represented Team USA in international 3-on-3 competitions, earning medals and proving her dominance in the format. That experience is priceless, giving her an edge that most players can only dream of, still not convinced. Look at players like Kayla McBride and Kate Martin tearing it up for the Lely Basketball Club. What do they have in common with Hull? Deadly three-point shooting. In 3-on-3, shooters like Hull are worth their weight in gold.
Not only that, she's been good. The problem isn't that Lexi Hull has been garbage. Lexi Hull has played well. That's the weirdest thing, is that she's actually played well. There is one issue with Lexi Hull, which is why I think she's not playing, but I think she has actually played well. And their team lost again.
So why is Lexi Hull's playing style perfect for 3-on-3 basketball? It's simple. She's the complete package. Her shark shooting keeps defenses honest and spreads the floor, creating opportunities for her teammates. Her lockdown defense shuts down the opposition's best player, and her experience in this format means she knows exactly how to maximize her skills. The question is, how did she apply all this in the Rose Basketball Club's latest game?
And then we saw Kate Martin have one of the best performances of the weekend with a double-double at the guard position off the bench in limited minutes, where she did unbelievable.
The stage was set, a showdown against the Mist Basketball Club. Still searching for their first win, the Rose decided it was time to shake things up, and shake things up they did. Gone were the slow, predictable offensive sets. In their place, a high-octane strategy fueled by quick movement and sharp cuts. It was like watching a completely different team. At the center of it all, Lexi Hull finally unleashed.
But for Lexi Hull, at least now they're stopping running the constant pick and rolls. That was the worst part about it, is everything had to be a pick and roll. So the only players really scoring were Azare Angel got some shots in, and that was really it. And at least this game was good today. This game really was good today.
Let's talk about those 19 points in just 10 minutes. No, that's not a typo. Hull wasn't just good, she was unstoppable. Here's the kicker. 14 of those points came from driving to the basket. This wasn't the Lexi Hull we thought we knew. This was Lexi Hull 2.0, attacking the rim with a ferocity that left defenders in her wake.
So a brick from Chelsea Gray, an offensive rebounder in Vandersloot. It's all from hustle plays. It's all from cutting, spotting up. A cut, Chelsea Gray hits her. It's the off-ball movement that was really nice. Lexi Hull posting up Courtney Vandersloot. I still am by this. I thought at the start Courtney Vandersloot was going to be the worst player in Rival. She's not, but she's very poor.
Of course, she didn't abandon her bread and butter. The remaining 5 points. Classic Hull magic. A perfect blend of her trademark three-point shooting and cool confidence at the free throw line. It was a seamless combination of her old strengths and newfound aggression.
Sloot is very, very poor. Courtney Vandersloot, she shoots it off the dribble. Bang. And then again, she goes and cuts on Vandersloot. Courtney Vandersloot, dear Lord. Like, then she's being guarded by Alia Edwards with the post fade. Like, Lexi Hull was doing a little bit of everything, but a lot of it was just her off-ball movement. A good screen by Brittany Sykes and a nice left-handed finish there.
Now let's put this performance into perspective. Hull's efficiency was off the charts. She had the highest point total on the team despite her limited minutes. And while we're on the topic of limited minutes, let's check in on Angel Reese. Remember her? The supposed star of the show? Reese had a horrific game, 4 points in 8 minutes, 3 turnovers, and 4 fouls. Most of her time was spent watching from the bench. Talk about a role reversal. But this wasn't just about Hull outshining Reese. It was about Hull's performance lifting the entire team. With Hull leading the charge, the Rose found their rhythm. The new offensive strategy clicked, creating space and opportunities that simply didn't exist before. Just like that, the Rose Basketball Club secured their first win in Unrivaled.
They struggled to live with Lexi Hull, just as far as her cutting. It was just cuts, hustle plays, and she was just doing a lot of the little things. Like, she didn't do anything crazy, other than, like, she made one or two decent drives. She made she made a really good cut. She made a really, really good cut. She made really good cuts. And that's really it. Like, it just shows how much off the ball movement matters.
So, what does this mean moving forward? First off, it raises serious questions about Hull's lack of playing time in the first 2 games. If she can put up these kinds of numbers in just 10 minutes, imagine what she could do with more time. It's clear Hull isn't just a role player. She's a potential game changer. Which leads us to another question. Why was Hull riding the bench while Angel Reese wasn't? Here's a wild thought. What if Reese's presence on the court was actually hurting the Rose Basketball Club?
Look, Angel Reese had a horrific game. Like, a terrible, terrible, terrible game.
Reese was putting up double-doubles in the first 2 games. Sounds impressive, right? But those stats didn't lead to wins. The Rose Basketball Club started the season with 2 tough losses, leaving everyone wondering what wasn't adding up.
They changed a little bit. She's doing a lot more off-the-ball work. She's doing a lot more cutting, and she's doing a lot of positive, really positive things for the team. And with her defense, I think it's hard. It'd be hard to not give her a look in, or at least whether you don't want to give her more of a look in, or these are the type of minutes you want to give her. I think it's hard to give her as few minutes as you did initially.
Some fans started questioning, were those double-doubles even legit? The buzz around Reese's so-called stat padding was real. Talk about a letdown.
So, yeah, not a good day at the office for Angel Reese.
Then came the latest game against the Mist Basketball Club. Reese only played 8 minutes, scoring just 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting. While she grabbed 6 rebounds, she also racked up 3 turnovers and 4 fouls. Not exactly star player material.
You can imagine missed layups from last night. Man, I mean, what is really going on here? You see that, and then whatever that is. I don't even know what that was. One more time. Oh, my God. I'm going to drive to the basket, and then I'm going to mess the ball up. No layups. Whatever that is. We don't know what that is. They haven't identified exactly what the hell that is.
So, what went wrong? Reese's slow, pick-and-roll heavy playing style didn't fit the fast-paced 3-on-3 format. It's like trying to play checkers in a game of speed chess. It just didn't work. She also missed several easy layups, the bread and butter of basketball.
Rose did win, though, which is all that matters. But, I think it's got to the stage now for the Rose where, even though, look, I don't think in the first 2 games Angel Reese was that bad. I don't think she was brilliant. But it's now got to the stage where you have to play as her.
Fans were starting to notice, with some even calling Reese a liability in the Unrivaled League. Ouch. The team's offense was sluggish with Reese on the floor, completely out of sync with the quick cuts and movement needed for 3-on-3 success.
You have to start Azurá Stevens. There's no question about it. You have to start Azurá. Because Angel Reese, 2 of 6 from the field. She had as many fouls as points, 3 turnovers to 1 assist. Look, it's not ideal.
Why was Lexi Hall sitting on the bench for those first 2 games? Coach Nola Henry was betting on Reese, hoping her individual stats would somehow lead to team success. But as they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. After Reese's struggles, Hall got her shot, and she delivered, helping the team secure their first win.
If they had have lost, I know you can't get fired from unrivaled coaching. I would still be looking to fire Nola Henry. Is it Nola Henry? Like, I would be like genuinely looking at firing the freaking coach if they lost that game.
Lexi Hall's breakout wasn't just a personal win. It might be a turning point for the Rose Basketball Club and even the Indiana Fever. With stars like Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston in the mix, Hall's versatility could be the key to the Fever's success in 2025. The big question: will Coach Nola Henry stick with the Hall strategy or revert to the old playbook? If Hall keeps getting the green light, this could be the start of something big.